Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor is due unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Raruchak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well, and as always, peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the name of this lesson is going to be entitled, Integrity is Integral. And when you look upon the conduct and the behavior of Jake, that's one of the main characteristics that is missing from Israel. But ironically, our forefather Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, Yasher Allah, which means Prince of the Power, that was one of the characteristics that he actually had. All right, when you go back to when him and Esau, came up, it displayed how, Esau, he was wild in nature. He was a man of the field. He was a hunter, a cunning hunter, just out and about. And also it tells us in Hebrews, was that 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Esau was the complete opposite of Jacob. All right, they were two different men, when you weigh their character. All right, he said what was said was to Rebecca, the mother, was that you're going to have two manner of people that were going to be in their bowels. Jacob, as you're going to see, he actually was virtuous. He was the one with moral integrity, moral uprightness. So let's start with that. And let's go to Genesis 25 and 26. Blue letter always tripping. Let's go to Genesis 25 and 26. Genesis 25 verse 26, it says, "And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents." All right, and that shows the character separation right there. When you go back to what the Lord told her, talking about Rebecca, that you would have two nations that are in your womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. These are going to be two total opposites from one another, even though they both are coming out of the same womb. All right, one is going to be a vessel unto dishonor, and the other was going to be a vessel of honor. All right, one was going to be greater and superior than the other. All right, physically, morally, spiritually, right? So when you go down and you look up that word plain, because it said that Jacob was a plain man. Esau, he was out and about. He was about that world, right? But Jacob, he had a different character about him. Now let's go to the word plain in the Hebrew. And you see that the word here is tham. All right, tham, right? And it says perfect, complete, perfect. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, sound, wholesome, an ordinary, quiet sort of person, complete, morally innocent, having integrity. This is why I say integrity is integral. All right, one who is morally and ethically pure. All right, and ultimately, the elect are going to have this characteristic. They're going to embody this characteristic of having integrity. I mean, because it does say in prophecy that the elect are going to be without fault before the throne of the Most High. There's going to be found no guile in their mouths, because they're taking on the completeness of virtue that Yahweh Shai displayed. Okay, Yahweh Shai had perfect integrity. He was ethically pure. So this is what it meant by when the Lord said, and let's go to it real fast. Let's go to Matthew 5 and was it 48? Yeah, Matthew 5 verse 48, and it says, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." All right, and it does not mean be perfect in the law. The Lord ain't talking about the law here. He's actually saying have perfect integrity, moral uprightness, character, because that's what the Lord looks upon. He looks upon the heart. The Lord is a God of knowledge, and with him actions are weighed. He looks upon your character and your integrity. Do you have that? Because it's a trait that you cannot fake, man. It's not faked at all. It's either you have it or you don't. Now let's look up that word perfect. And this is the Greek word. And it says, brought to its end, finished, wanting nothing necessary to completeness. Hey, when Yahweh Shai, when he finally died on that cross, what did he say? It is finished. Basically, Yahweh Shai was perfected in that moment. Even though he took on all the iniquity, all the sin of Israel, but the moment, he took his last breath, he said, it is finished. He completed the fulfillment of the law for the nation of Israel. Okay? And, when he did it, his character, all right, his virtue was completed. He walked perfectly. He walked with a perfect heart. Perfect, that which is perfect. Consummate human integrity and virtue of men, full grown adult of full age mature. All right. Down here it says complete in various applications of labor, growth, mental and moral character. Okay, this is what makes you complete. You see? Now I looked up the word integrity in an etymology dictionary, and it says from 1400, integrite, innocence, blamelessness. So this is what the Lord is looking for, which a lot of these guys in Israel, this is something that they don't really have. That's why the scriptures tell us to constantly examine ourselves whether we be in the faith. We have to prove ourselves. Test your character, man. Job said it best. All right. Let me be weighed in an even balance, that the Most High may know mine integrity. See, these previous back and forths that we've been having with, guys that are in opposition of us. One thing that you can clearly see is that these dudes don't have character. They don't have character, and it shows. And you're seeing all the slandering, you're seeing the lying, you're seeing the hypocrisy. That was what was exposed in these prior back and forths with these individuals. But these same individuals are trying to tell you you're perfect according to the law. Integrity is something that's displayed inwardly. It's internal. It's not something that you just show on the outside. That's why the Apostle Paul said in his letter to the church of Rome, he that is a Jew inwardly and not outwardly. Going back to our forefather Jacob, you're an Israelite inwardly. You'll showcase the same characteristic that Jacob had. He was a plain man. He had moral uprightness, character, integrity, and all the situations that he was placed in, he maintained his innocence. When it came to dealing with his brother who hated him, who was trying to kill him, Jacob he did the right thing. He maintained his innocence even when Esau came to him when they first met face to face after he left, when he received the blessing, the birthright, and his mother had to tell him, "Man, your brother want to kill you. Get out of Dodge. Go over to my brother, and he'll take care of you. Go over to Haran." And he went over there, worked for his brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's what had to happen. Okay? And he was blameless. He came back after he, had all his sons. And Esau was about to, he came with his army, and that's why Jake had to come with gifts. Esau had no reason to put him to death because he saw that Jacob was coming in kindness, man. So that's just another example of integrity, all right? Showing you that he was a plain man. Blameless, chastity, purity, from Old French, integrity, and directly from Latin, integritatem, all right? It says soundness, wholeness, completeness, figuratively purity, correctness, blameless, from integra, whole. All right, you learn your integers in mathematics, man. It means whole. You're dealing with whole numbers. So the Lord wants us to be complete, whole. You can't be a half Israelite or a part Israelite. So you got to display these characteristics to be a complete Israelite. That's what the Lord is looking for. That's the Israel of the Most High. Now, when you just do a word search on the word integrity, and you'll see, various scriptures pop up. They're mainly from the upright men that actually showed that character. All right. You can see right here the Heavenly Father, and this is in First Kings, is when the Lord, spoke with Solomon after he completed the building of the temple. Let's go there real quick. It's 1 Kings 9 and 1. And it says, "And it came to pass when Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord and the king's house and all Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do, that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house which thou hast built, to put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. And if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart. Okay, and King David definitely had integrity, man. Even before he was king, all right, you know, he submitted himself, he humbled himself. He acknowledged that Saul, he was the king, he was the anointed. And even when, you know, Saul started to lose his integrity and virtue, and them demons started, you know, getting on Saul, he still remained blameless. He still kept his integrity. He didn't, you know, try to put Saul to death when Saul was trying to put him to death. You see what I'm saying? He spared, you know, some of Saul's men. You see? I think what was you know, one of the sons that was disabled. I think he had a disfigured limb or something like that. Mephibosheth or something like that. But he even took him in. All right, when Shimei cursed him, he didn't put him to death. He showed integrity. It says, and in uprightness to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. All right. So basically, if you can, you know, show the same level of integrity of heart and uprightness as your father did, then I'm gonna establish the throne that you're sitting upon. Right? Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. Okay? So that's what the Lord looks upon. That's what he looks for. And this is something that we constantly can teach ourselves. All right? So let's go back. And here's some more scriptures. So you see that Job, you know, he constantly talked about having integrity. All right, and even when Satan tried him and tempted him, he still maintained his integrity, to the point that even his own wife, she was startled at the fact that he still, you know, kept his integrity, even enduring all those, you know, troubles that he had to endure. Right? This is Job 2 and 3, and this is the Lord conversing with Satan, which shows you that Satan is under the command of the Most High. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? It's Job 2 and 3, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and is true of evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Right? And then, you know, you read through the rest of the scriptures of what, you know, Satan was allowed to do to him. He put all type of hell. He jacked Job up, man. But the Lord told Satan to spare his life. And that same Job who went through that, he said, let me see if I could find it, where it says, though he slay me. Let's go there real quick. Job 13 and 15. Though he slay me, yet will I yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. So basically, it don't matter what the Lord do to me. You know, don't he, you know, buffet me, though he put hell upon me, I'm still going to trust him. And it was a big test for Job. So, hey, the Lord puts us through situations that we be tested. And he's weighing you to see if there's going to be uprightness, if your decision making is based on the integrity that you have. Are you going to make the right decision? Are you going to do the right thing? You see? Because like it says in was it James? He that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So going back, this is what the woman says, showing you that, you know, a lot of these women don't have integrity, right? Now you had you had certain women that had, you know, integrity, but for the most part, a lot of these women don't have integrity. You women, if you're trying to strive to be complete and have, if you're trying to strive to be as complete as you can possibly be, your best bet is to try to emulate the characteristics displayed in the virtuous woman spoken of in Proverbs, the 31st chapter. And it breaks it all the way down. And even though that's, you know, spiritually talking about the elect of Israel, you know, you women can actually learn from it as well. It could be taken as twofold, because you want to be integral as well. You want to have integrity. You want to have character. And you had certain women that did have character. So continuing on, Job 2:9, then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. And he turned around and cussed her out. You know? You speak as one of them foolish women speak. It's like, basically, is you crazy? Shall we not receive from him both good and evil? All right, the Lord blesses us and do good things for us, but he also does bad too. And it's to keep us on edge, man, just to weigh our heart. All right. Job 25:7 says, God forbid that I should justify you till I die. I will not remove mine integrity from me. Job 31:6, let me be weighed in an evil balance, that the Most High might know mine integrity. Psalm 7:8, the Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, according to my righteousness and according to mine integrity that is in me. This is King David. All right, let Psalms 25:21, let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Psalms 26:1, a Psalm of David. Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. All right, same chapter, 11th verse. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity, redeem me, and be merciful unto me. And when you read up above, I believe in the 10th verse, you know, he's basically saying, I've never been, you know, bribed. Let me go there. Dudes that's quick to sell out, they clearly don't have any integrity. You know, you'll just exchange your soul, you know, just for you know, temporal gain. That's not integrity at all. Now you being an Edomite, because that's how Esau was. He exchanged the birthright for something, you know, that was you know, tangible, and it was a temporary fix, man. You worried about your pleasure rather than your future. All right, Psalms 26:10. I'll start at 9. It says, gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men. You know, don't put me in there in that boat, right? In whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. You know, taking all these gifts, being bought. And as we know, the scriptures say, you know, a gift destroys the heart. It blinds the eyes that you cannot reprove. You pervert judgment. And that means that your heart is not pure, it's not genuine. You're not being honest. We're supposed to judge righteously. We're supposed to speak the truth with our neighbor. You're supposed to judge with righteous judgment and not according to appearance. All right. And hey, that's one of the things that also we're striving to be judges of the earth because we're going to judge the world. Well, you definitely got to have integrity and character when you're a judge. All right. You want to be a person that has discernment. You can discern the intent of individuals. Is their intent, genuine? Is it pure? Is it innocent? So let's X out of that. And let's read a few more. And these are all, in the Psalms, showing you that David had integrity, and also Solomon. Solomon spoke on integrity. All right. I'll read Proverbs 11, verse 3. It says, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. All right. Speaking with forwardness. A lot of dudes are reckless with the tongue, man. A lot of dudes are, they move presumptuous. They have no uprightness in them. That's why they can just, say things, lie, double speak, show hypocrisy. Proverbs 19:1, better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Okay. One more verse. It says, Proverbs 20:7, it says, the just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after them. Okay. And what is integrity again? Basically, to be innocent, blameless, complete, wholeness. That's the perfection that the Lord is looking for. It says down here, the sense of wholeness, perfect condition. And Jake, right now, they're in the worst condition possible, man. They're very degenerated right now. They have no etiquette, no manners. It's completely just gone, man. Jeremiah 2:21 says, I have planted thee a noble vine. You were meant to be perfect. But they turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine to them. The fact that we're, scattered among the nations, it corrupted us. It corrupted our character. We absorb the characteristics of the devil. All right, Proverbs 12:26, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. We learned and absorbed a lot of toxic characteristics from our enemy. That's why the scriptures say to envy not thou the oppressor and choose none of his ways. As long as we emulate this devil, we're far away from the image of our power. Because he's far from that. All right, we got to strive to be like our forefathers that were upright, man, in character and in virtue. It says down here that of soundness of moral principle and character, entire uprightness or fidelity. All right, the Lord called us. It was another surname for Israel was Jeshurun or Yasharon, which means upright. To be be upright, man. Showing integrity, showing character. Okay, but right now Jake is on a low freaking level, man. Now when you go to Isaiah, the first chapter, let's go to Isaiah 1. Speaking of Jake's rebellion, how rebellious Jake is. Isaiah 1 verse 3, it says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger. They are going away backward. Why should you be stricken anymore? You revolt more and more. Your whole head is sick, the whole heart is faint. And that's describing the condition of our people, man. The Lord can't even look upon our people right now, because they're totally turned aside. All right, totally degenerated. They done lost all moral principle and character. Our people are unmerciful to each other. They hate one another. They're not truthful with each other. There's no love amongst one another, and that's one of the greatest commandments, man. To love thy neighbor as thyself. If you love your neighbor, you're not gonna lie to him. You're not gonna, covet what they have. All right. You're not gonna judge them falsely. You're not gonna lie upon them. You're not gonna render to any man evil for evil. And that's what Jake do. Jake, they're so impulsive. Their reflex is to always attack when they feel that they're attacked. We're not supposed to do that, man. We're supposed to always take the low. Be blameless. Let the Heavenly Father deal. That's what Yahweh Shai did. It tells you that in 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, how, when he was reviled, he reviled not again. And when he suffered, he threatened not, but committed it unto him that is just in judgment. You see? And then Yahweh Shai, he's the one that gave us those, moral principles on how to be perfect. When you read Matthew, the 5th chapter, and start like around maybe the 40th verse, he pretty much breaks it all down. Don't be a vengeful person. You have heard that it said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. Pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. That's how you're supposed to walk, man. That you be what? Blameless. When we go back and forth with these other guys and these other groups, we keep it scriptural. We keep it dealing with the doctrine. We attack your doctrine and rebuke you. All right? So let's continue. It says, verse 6, from the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. And that's why Yahweh Shai had to come and be that physician. He had to pretty much come and fix us and put us back together. And he healed us, with the word. This word is a healer. Through this understanding is what makes us complete. You see? So a lot can be learned from it. Now, when you look up soundness, because this is pretty much what's missing from Jake. This is why Jake is sick right now. And the word is matam. Yep. Matam. And it says soundness. Entirety. Entire. Meaning what? Whole. All right. Wholesomeness. Completely. All right. Soundness. Down here, integrity. Soundness, a whole or a sound part of the body. Okay. So it goes back to integrity. This is what makes you complete. All right, so let me go from there to is it First Peter or it might be Second Peter? Go to Second Peter 1. Because this right here, you know, Peter is actually showing the church on how to, you know, strive to you know, achieve that level of completeness in virtue. This is what he said. Second Peter 1 in verse 3, it says, according as his divine power have given us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that have called us to glory and virtue, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. All right, we was in the world, we was corrupted, man. All you doing is just following your lust, man. Everything is based off of impulse. And we can't be like that in this truth. All right, trying to get carnal victories, trying to one up everybody, can never take the low and be humble, show humility. Right? Dude's trying to get vainglory. That's not what we're striving for. It says, and beside this, giving all diligence, right? Add to your faith, because you want to have a complete level of faith as well. Virtue. Let's look up that word virtue. And this is how you strive for the mastery. Virtue. Arete, and it says, a virtuous course of thought, feeling, and action. Virtue, moral goodness, any particular moral excellence as modesty, purity. Okay. So let's go back. And it says, and to virtue, knowledge, and to knowledge, temperance. All right. He that is striving for the mastery is temperate in all things, right? This is how we're striving for the mastery. Okay. It says, and to temperance, patience. Because you're going to be put through things that's going to test you. And you got to be willing to persevere. You got to be willing to suffer it. Right? And to patience, godliness. Because that's where your godliness will show. Is in your patience and your suffering. Because you're going to make the sound decisions. Right? You're gonna do whatever is right. Right? It says, and to godliness, brotherly kindness, and that's another one. Right? Are you showing, goodwill towards the brotherhood? Are you being brotherly? Are you showing, mercy and compassion? Are you bearing your brother's burden? Right? And to brotherly kindness, charity. All right? Charity meaning goodwill, love, helping brothers out, showing brothers mercy, even if they, if there's fault with them. Even Yahushua said, if a brother asks you to go a mile, go 2 miles with him. Right? These are all different things the Lord showed us. It says, for if these things be in you and are bound, they make you that you shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. You see that? So that's, what we ought to be adding unto our character. These are the traits here, man. It says, but he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. And once you came into the truth, the Lord showed you mercy. He gave you a clean slate, man. So when you come in this thing, you become a new creature. You're supposed to be trying to grow. These are the things that you're supposed to be adding to your character, the inner man. That's why a lot of these dudes that come into this thing, they don't know what they're a part of at all. Because they don't come in and grow. They're still that old nigga that ain't left their old ways. So you forgot that you was purged from your own sins, man. You see? It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. All right? So, hey, integrity is integral, man. All right, and this is how you try to strive to be perfect, even as the Father is perfect. All right, what manner of man ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay? And we have Yahweh Shai, you know, he's pretty much the template for how you should carry yourself. Okay? Being blameless. Apostle Paul, the apostles, they were blameless. He even told you that if you're going to be in the position of a deacon or a bishop must be blameless. A deacon must be blameless. And that's ultimately the 144,000. They're going to be found without fault. All right. So anyway, and I hope this lesson was edifying. You know, and like I said, you know, I try to teach myself. You know, as I do these lessons, you know, I'll still learn and I try to apply it to myself. You know, because we can't be one that, you know, get all this information, but we're unprofitable to ourselves. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shai. And until the next lesson, Shalom.